The dark side of circuses and zoos. We do a lot of countdowns here at The Brilliant, but rarely do we do a countdown as disturbing and saddening as this one. It's important for people to be aware of the atrocities certain animals are victims to. Have you ever seen the conditions circus animals are subjected to? What about animals living in certain zoos? If you want to see how far the cruelty of humans can go, you need to see this. As we look at the dark side of circuses and zoos.If, this monkey is in a small metal cage. You could see us jumping over and over and over, and this is called psychosis. Number 6. Circus animals being released. This lion was airlifted to a South African sanctuary as part of Animal Defense International's operation to rescue circus animals. Throughout Peru and Colombia, authorities raided the circuses and rescued the animals. It's good to see officials running these types of operations on a regular basis. The lion being rescued in this video is touching the grass for the first time in 10 years. Can you believe this? What a horrible thing to do to any living creature. You can see the sadness on the lion's face when he realizes what he's been missing all these years. These 4 lions were born in captivity and spent their lives performing in a French circus. After one of the lions attacked the owner, plans for the lions to be released in a sanctuary in South Africa. Number 5. Tigers rescue. Our thumbnail says it all. Tragic destiny of certain wild animals is deplorable and unacceptable. This young tiger cub doesn't see the day when he will be free. Hopefully, wildlife officials will get to him sooner than later. Rescue tigers Carly and Lily now have a new home at Safe Haven Rescue Zoo. ACTFA's verified wildlife sanctuary located in a remote part of Nevada, nestled in a high desert valley, guarded on all sides by towering mountain peaks. Safe Haven embodies an oasis. Even though the sanctuary provides ample peace and quiet, it is subject to extreme sun exposure and intense heat during a large portion of the year. Many sanctuaries, including Safe Haven, provide in-ground pools. These girls were among 19 exotic animals IFA helped confiscate from a failed facility in New York. The remarkable story of Hoover, the tiger saved by Animal Defenders International from a circus in Peru, where secretly filmed video shows him being trained with whips and sticks and living in a small cage, and now living in natural woodland with his own pool. Number 4. Bear rescues. A marauding polar bear is about to be returned to the wild as far away as possible from the town of Churchill. To do that, the conservation team will need to tranquilize him and then airlift him by helicopter. The Langans of northern British Columbia run one of the busiest bear rehabilitation centers and are the only people in the world licensed to raise and release grizzlies. Their mission in life: rescue starving and distressed orphan bear cubs, raise them until they can survive on their own, and then release them back into the wild. A team of wildlife officials was able to rescue a female orphan moon bear that had been illegally kept in a small cage for 6 years. She is now safely in the quarantine house of the Luang-Prabang Wildlife Sanctuary, receiving expert vet care and a healthy diet with a much better future assured. More than 30 years ago, a bear cub named Fifi arrived at a Pennsylvania roadside zoo. For years, she and other bears were forced to perform confusing tricks, like standing on their hind legs after the roadside zoo closed its doors. More than 20 years ago, Fifi languished in a tiny rusted cage, and the Wild Animal Sanctuary rescued her. Number 3. Bengal tiger rescue. These tigers have been living in a train car for 15 years. 2 Bengal tigers were left at a farmer's property in Argentina. The circus reportedly asked the farmer to look after them. Number 2. Elephants rescued. This elephant's life is finally going to change. He is on a truck to freedom. Cruelty is justified with the excuse of tradition, but it's no more pain on the menu for this big guy. The elephant is finally being taken care of, and he also gets to meet his new family. What a wonderful moment. Ramba, an Asian elephant that spent decades performing in South American circuses, started a new life in an open-air sanctuary in Brazil. The elephant, which is estimated to to be over 52 years old, was in circuses in Argentina and Chile when she was saved suffering in a circus. Her right front leg does not bend. Number 1. Beagle's Rescue. The Beagle Freedom Project convinced the DC area lab not to euthanize 7 beagles. The dogs have been subject to various laboratory tests for 4 years. This is the first time they are out of their cages and seeing the outdoors. 7 foster families are eagerly awaiting their arrival. This rescue has been called the Summer of Freedom, when 38 beagles from 5 labs across 11 states were free. These dogs were never able to enjoy the simple pleasures of a dog's life, so playing outside and feeling the grass on their paws will be a whole new experience. Look at how happy they are when they are released. It is simply a joy to watch another batch of beagles rescued by volunteers. The beagle is the most used dog breed for research, but not because scientists believe they are the best model for human disease. Rather, because beagles are docile and small. They allow for more animals to be housed and cared for with less space and money. After spending their entire lives indoors and in cages, these beagles that survived the ordeal of laboratories finally got to experience sunlight and grass for the first time. Some of the liberated pups weren't sure what to make of the grass, but they quickly realized how happy freedom felt. I knew humans were cruel, but not to this extent. It is true that money is the root of all evil. Please let us know what you think in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and let us know in the comments.